Noob D&D Dad here. We're going to do session number 10 for the Army Veterans group that I'm DMing for. Alright, the group recently got betrayed by a bunch of wererats and have set off to go to the Shrine of Savras. That's what I just showed you there for 2 seconds. You can rewind and pause it if you want. They've set off to genocide the dirty rats. And as a new DM, this was both terrifying and hilarious because I was totally expecting them to go to the loggers camp, and they just decided they were going to go back to the Shrine of Savras and kill all the rats that they just sent there because some of them came back and attacked them. So I was like, okay. So I just opened my book back up to that page and I'm like, all right, let's do this thing. So I decided to populate the shrine with 3 rats in the tower, 2 rats in each courtyard, and then 2 or 3-ish rats inside. And this was probably one of the weirdest and coolest sessions that I've had so far. Finally, the improvised explosives that I had them find in the prepper's cabin from many sessions ago come to fruition in this episode. So we've got some very stealthy stealthers in this group, and so they always try to do stuff stealthily, which is cool. And of course, he rolled some insane stealth check. So what they do is they sneak around the broken walls of the shrine. The stealth will come in play, I promise. But I don't know if it's the paladin or the bard or somebody used a spell to make a sexy female wererat outside the walls to lure the guards out there. And then they have to roll some kind of like a constitution or intelligence or something to see if they can know that it's an illusion or if they think it's real. So pretty much all of them failed. They all failed the roll. So which means they all thought the sexy wererat was real. So they like followed it outside the walls. They lured it out. And then of course my party kills them. So they've killed all the wererats in the courtyard. Mostly. I think they got most of them. Yeah, they lured them out. And so what's left is the tower and then, of course, the building, which they don't know what's in the building yet. And, you know, I have the main leader in the building with a couple guards. And she's really not that strong, so she's not really going to provide, like, a boss fight. But I just loved watching the party like try to find a clever solution to quietly take out all the guards as they work around the perimeter. So when they get to the tower, this is my absolute favorite part. So I think initially, so they wanted to use the explosives finally to put them in the tower with all the guys, right? There's 3 wererats up in the tower. And so they rolled stealth, and our rogue rolls stuff like a 27 stealth or something. Anyway, so he can be really sneaky. So he wants to climb up the wall, drop the bomb in, and then our sorcerer is going to teleport him away so he'll be safe. But he cannot for the life of him climb the wall. I can't remember the DC that I gave the wall climb, but he can't accomplish it. He's just like jumping up and cannot climb. And so I think the bard sneaks down and tries to climb up too. So there's all these people just like trying to climb. They're like, I'll do it. And no one is succeeding at climbing this thing. So finally, I want to say, I may not be remembering correctly, but I think they used Mage Hand, or maybe 2 of them used Mage Hand to lift up all the bombs that they put together to lift them up. And so they light the fuses and then they plop the bomb. No, they didn't do this. They didn't do that. I think maybe it weighed too much or something. I can't remember why they didn't do that. But okay, so I'm mixing everything up. So they're failing to climb the tower. And so finally he decides to just plant all the bombs around the base of the tower. Yeah, that's what he did. So this is my favorite. This is my favorite image. And I don't know if I was able to convey the image in my head, but it was absolutely hilarious. So then they set off the bomb, and even though I have all the bombs, they're 1d4 fire damage, 1d4 piercing damage, and there's a little bit of splash damage. And I had given the tower like a number of hit points, but I was just like, I think it's Bob World Builder in my head. Just saying reward player creativity in my head. And so I decided that the hit points of the tower didn't matter and that the placement of the bombs was such that it was going to destroy the tower. So the bombs go off around the base of the tower and it starts collapsing. And as it's collapsing, there's like a it's collapsing into a giant dust cloud, right? So you're basically seeing the tower shrink into a giant cloud. And as it's collapsing, you just see the 3 rats on top of that tower just like look so confused as it's falling down. I think one of them is like screaming on the way down, like, ah! Now I can't remember. I may have had one of the rats be yelling, "What's all this then?" on the way down, because that's like the rat's trademark saying that I have them say. But maybe they say that more in my son's campaign. Anyway, I just have this image of this tower just lowering into this dust cloud with these 3 rats on it. Just it looks so confused, and then it just crashes in an explosion of rock and dust and blood. And then my party goes running in there to see who's left and just like start killing people. And I think I had 2 of the guards from the building come running out into the dust, and my guys just totally kill them. And despite my best efforts, none of them get bit and get the curse of wererat lycanthropy. So the dust settles. They wheel their ballista into the courtyard and they point it at the front door of the shrine, and they basically start having a yelling match with the head gang leader of the wererats. And they're like, "You gotta surrender and give up and come out here," whatever. Honestly, I can't remember the content of their conversation, but they're yelling back and forth. And basically she doesn't want to give in. And she's like, "Well, let me think about this," or whatever. And the rogue is getting super impatient. He's like, no more thinking about this. So they basically kick down the door and fire the ballista at her. So the ballista just blasts her, and then I can't remember if the bard or someone else just zapped her with something and she dies. But this player who's playing the sorcerer says, "I was expecting a boss battle. Oh well." It's like, you know what? I guess there can't always be a boss battle. She is just a wererat. I could have thought of more stuff to make it more dramatic, but really this is already like an extra quest on top of extra quests. So it's okay once in a while to just freaking level up a mid-level boss with a ballista. All right, so they go into the shrine, and there's a little bit of a treasure hoard, right? Because I'm declaring it the wererat treasure hoard. So I did the treasure hoard table 0 to 4, page 137 in the DM guide. So I can't remember what they rolled, but it looks like they rolled a 83. So they got a whole bunch of 50 gold piece gemstones. Here's what they got: quartz, star rose, onyx, quartz, chalcedony, sardonyx, whole bunch of stuff, potion of heroism, and probably some loose change. So they genocided the rats in the shrine, and they did something I wasn't expecting. They decided that they wanted to claim the shrine to be theirs, to be their base, and they wanted to fix it up, which is why I put out that message a little while ago asking about how much it should cost to fix up the base. Now, spoiler alert, a couple sessions from now, they actually are going to pay someone to go fix it. I did settle on a price, so we'll get to that in a future video. But I had so much fun in this session with the veterans group that I'm being the dungeon master for. Again, I'm being the dungeon master for my son's group as well, so I have videos about that. And this was just the perfect example that the players will just do what they will do, and I need to facilitate it. And I'm happy that I was prepared and that I was able to improv, like how many guards were there, like what treasure was there. And as a DM, this was one of my most entertaining sessions. It was so fun watching them creatively try to lure the rats out and kill them, and then finally use the explosives that some of them were scoffing at when they first found them. Anyway, this has been session 10. Session 10 of the veterans group that I'm DMing for. So stay tuned for more, and check out my shorts as well, where I give life-changing commentary on D&D artwork. And let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.